Hi. It's been a hot second. I know. It's raining right now, but both of my roommates are like napping inside, so I don't want to wake them up. Anyways, lovely to see you guys. Talk to you guys? Not see you. I don't see you. You probably won't see me either. Well, now you will. Anyways, I'm sitting down. Standing is too much work. Alright, so I left you guys at lunch before my break. So, what happened after lunch the day before my break? It was in my brain and I just fucking lost it. I did something. What did I do? I took out the trash. That's what I did. Now the trash doesn't seem very important to remember, but I remember it because I found out where the trash hole is, and it's just a hole in the ground. It's more of a trench, actually, but we throw all the trash in there and the dead cows. And then when it gets full, they cover it up, and sometimes Sam goes out there and burns it. Anyways, so I had my first day off. It was great. I loved it. I played some video games, I talked to some people, and then I tried to set my phone SIM card with my mother's help. Now, I probably should have started doing that more than half an hour before I wanted to leave the house to get to something before it closed, but I didn't. So I barely got that set up. It was fucking stressful, but I got it set up, and I put $21 worth of data and calling and texting on it. I'm like, yay, that'll work. That'll be good for me. I'm going on a singular outing. It should be fine. I turned it off to literally everything except for Find My Phone and Safari, Find My Phone, and Maps. Now, I turn it on sometimes to use WhatsApp because that's the only place that I have some people's contacts, but then I would turn it off. Anyways. So I drove for the first time in New Zealand using that car, which, before I took it, did not have that scratch. Good job, Lila. You're doing great. I wasn't doing great, actually. It was extremely fucking stressful because, as you guys know, in Saskatchewan, you can drive 2 hours and have, maybe 4 turns. I had to go up roads that were just like that the whole time at 100 on the wrong side of the road. So that was extremely stressful. I finally got to Te Koeti and I just parked and I needed a minute, and then I was panicking, and then I got to New Worlds, which is basically the co-op, and I got there and I did some grocery shopping, and it was good. And then I went to the warehouse and I did some more shopping, and I got bowls, and I'm so happy about bowls. You don't even understand. And a new light, which I will show you the light. But I did that. And then I had to drive somewhere. So I drove there, and it was pretty alright driving, except I didn't know how to turn on the light, because instead of it automatically turning on the light, you have to twist the knob to get it to brights or not brights, and then it's afflicting. It was very annoying. But I finally figured it out, and I got to the place, except I was meeting kids, this isn't how we do this, ever. And this was the first mistake. Well, second mistake. First mistake was I should have put more money on my data, apparently. Second mistake was I'll go meet somebody, dude I've never met before, ever, and have had some contact with over text, at a house on a farm with apparently no ability to call anybody. But it was fine overall. So it was him, and it was I don't know how to say his name. It's a Danish name. I do not know how to say it. Dutch name? It's a Dutch name. I don't know how to say it. And then there was Maya and Leo, and they were the people who owned the house, and then we went to the house because it was easiest to meet there, since there's only a 35-minute drive instead of an hour drive. Anyway, so we went there, and I got there really fucking early, and then I stayed in my car like the fucking weirdo I am until Maya came at the house and noticed me, and so then I went inside. Anyway, so I got inside and I chatted for a bit, and this Maya is my brain basically was oh, it's a Dutch Cordy. That was the thought, was, oh, that's just Cordy. except Dutch. And honestly, my brain wasn't that far off. She's very nice. And she showed me her room and she was like, you seem like someone who could fix this problem. It's probably because I was extremely awkward and it was a good starting point in our conversation. But her room, so they live in this old house, like old big house. And her room is really big. And it's, the fucking ceiling, I bet, is like 10 feet up. It's so fucking tall. But she was like, it's so empty. And I'm like, you're right, it's so empty. So she like bought a plant and she was gonna put it in the corner. And I was like, oh, well, you could put something on the wall over here and the wall over there. And honestly, filling up your walls makes places seem less empty. Also, your dresser, if you got a bigger one that had like a dresser and maybe a desk that you could use for other purposes, it would fill up this wall better. So we did that. And then I had to go to the bathroom. So she showed me to the bathroom, except this is how old this house is. The toilet and the sink are in 2 separate rooms. Why would you do that? Probably because the sink also had one of the like things. So it was like the toilet. And then the flush toilet thing was like up here. So the water went up to here. And then to get enough pressure, it was so old. But it came in, and then Yannick, who was the other dude who I couldn't remember how to say his name, and I don't even know if that's right, he showed up, and he showed up like, so an hour before he was going to come and meet us, and he was going to make supper. He got off work like an hour before that. He thought he was going to get off sooner, and then he didn't. So he got here, and he started like, he like rushed in, started making supper, kind of said hi to me. And then we chatted, had supper, and then I had to leave. And I left at like 9. That was my 3rd mistake. I was leaving too late. I also, fourth mistake was the fact that, well, give me a sec, sorry, I'm back. I had to go to the bathroom. Rain is really good at making you do that. But anyways, so I left too late and I didn't, before I left, make sure that my maps was working. And I also didn't know how to get back, because this was the first time that I'd left by myself, or by me driving, which is the only time that I actually remember my way. So I left, and my maps was working enough to get me from Otorohang, or that's not how you say it, it's like Otoroghna. It's weirdest spelling. Anyways, to Te Koeti. Then I got to Te Koeti. And then I didn't know how to get out to get to where I was supposed to go, so I went down the wrong road once, and then I finally got back to the right road, and then I was going, and you go straight, and there's a whole bunch of turns, and I was supposed to take a turn. And I didn't take that turn. And so I was going down a road I didn't know for like 10 minutes until I realized this definitely isn't the right road, so then I turned around, and I was trying to find a house that I wasn't getting murder vibes from, and I found one, and I parked my car in the driveway, still running, in case I needed to run, and I knocked on the door, and luckily it was just this like nice older lady and her dog, and she was having a drink, and watching this like show about aliens in World War II, and watching YouTube, like, the best house. So I stopped there, and I was almost crying, so I don't think I've ever told you guys this, but when I panic hard, and driving always makes me panic more, and thinking I'm lost makes it even worse. This tin is really loud. Anyways, so I got there, and she was so nice, and I asked if I could use her phone, and she'd let me use her phone, and then I called my boss, Diana, and I asked her if she could help me. And so she came, and she brought her car to bring me back. And now I was there for a little bit, and I talked to her, and when I got back home and I got Wi-Fi, I found out that apparently this had not just been a problem, it had been almost an international problem, because they were talking about me like I was missing, like not just lost, but missing. So let me explain what my mother was feeling. My mom watches Find My Phone like an eagle. Like, that is what she's watching. And Find My Phone just stopped working. Out of nowhere, I got to this weird house, and it just stopped working. And then she couldn't contact me because my fucking data ran out. $21 was gone almost instantly, which was so fun. So, Mom couldn't find me. So my mom didn't have Diana or Sam's number, so my mom had to then message the lady who from the program who was in Saskatchewan, who was like nighttime and she was on vacation. And that lady gave her the other lady who works in New Zealand through the program's number so that like she could get in contact with her. And then Mom found Sam on Facebook, friended him, and Sam friended her back, and then talked to him, and then got Diana's number, but she had her email, so she like emailed Diana, and then she emailed the lady from Ren's, and then Sam did something, and it was this whole thing. And then I got back at 10, and it was like a shit show, complete shit show. But the next day I got up and I went to work at 7, and I didn't talk about it, and nobody else brought it up, and I think I'm gonna have to talk to Diana about it later, today or tomorrow. I don't know what's happening, but it's great, and I fucked up so bad. And I was talking to my mom was like, if your massive fuck up was that you got lost for a little bit, but you got home in time for bed, like, it'll be okay, but you did fuck up, and now I have to, like, prove to them that this was, like, the biggest fuck up I've ever done in my life, and I'll never do it again, and I'm not the kind of person who would, but they don't know me, so they don't know I'm not the kind of person who would do something this dumb. So that's fun. Anyways, the next day was way better. So the next day, went to work, and I was helping out Jock, and he is a man who looks after our calves, and he is so sweet, so nice. And so I milked, and then we had to go pick up calves. And while we were picking up calves, it was Sam driving the tractor and his 2 youngest. So they have 2 boys and then a girl. And the youngest girl was just the sweetest thing ever. She was helping find calves, and she couldn't pick any of them up, and neither could the boy, but they were helping. And then we were tubing calves, and she was like there. She was talking, she was helping, she was filling up milk, she was spraying the calves, she was doing the navels, she was fantastic. And she hung out with me and Jock until lunch, and she was just great to have around, sweetest girl. And then after lunch, it was like spray down something and take the cups off, and like that was it. It was beautiful. And today we have an hour and a half break for lunch. So today has been pretty nice. I milked in the morning, and then I went and picked up calves, and then I've helped Jock for the rest of the day, and it's been pretty good. So yeah. Actually, last night I thought I was going to make cookies and it was going to be great, except the oven is on a different thing, so I turned the oven on way too hot. Burnt the bottom of the cookies, but apparently they're still good, because that's what Maria said. And I made I did the second pan of cookies, and they're good, except the fucking pans are, like, chipping or something, and so like the top protective stuff is coming off. It's super weird, and I don't know if I want to bake with those again, but I made cookies because I thought I was gonna make cookies and then give cookies to Diana and Sam and be like, I'm so sorry about the thing I did, except these cookies are not good enough for that, so I will not be doing that, actually. And then, because the oven was way too hot, the oil from the pan dripped off the pan and then lighted on fire inside of the oven, smoking up the entire house. And then I had to grab the smoke detector and turn it off, and then it was a whole thing, and then Maria was going to go to bed, and Pollyanna was already in bed, and then Maria had to stay up longer because she was worried about me burning the house down, which is a fair worry after that, but it was fine, and I didn't burn the house down, and the house wasn't even close to burning. It was actually all good. So, I made the second batch, thought something was going to go wrong, didn't think they were good, so I left them in the oven with the oven turned off overnight so they could finish baking, and I think that hardened them too much, but they're not bad, they're just a little crunchy. And now that I kind of know this oven's problems, it'll be easier next time. Anyways, it's actually almost been a 15-minute long video. It's been fantastic catching you guys up. Hope to talk to you later and sooner than next time. Bye-bye.